Here's Molly Gonzalez. You there? Gonzalez?
Yes.
Perfect. Here you are. May I please have a good phone number in case we need to reach out?
Yes. 773-954-6064.
All right. You gave me 773-954-6064.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. I'm going to need you back. You sit tight, and I'll come back to you during the counter call.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah, he is. Okay. Terrence, you don't need anything?
No, Your Honor.
Judge that.
So does he need to talk to you?
Won't be nothing but elbow cross.
This is.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's jump right in. So this is the Spalding County State Court. My name is Josh Thacker. I am your judge, and this is the bonded arraignment calendar. Is there any other magistrates doing something today? That's all I know. That's it.
We're the only thing going.
Great. Okay, great. All right. Well, then I will start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each of you, as you interact with this court, deserve the respect and the dignity that you would wish for someone you care about. We will extend that to each and every one of you as we interact with you all here today. Hey, please don't talk during court. Our goal is to move your case forward efficiently, to return you back to your lives. I assume we're all on the same page, but that's what we want to do. Thank you. And frankly, if y'all start talking, then I can't do my job up here and we can't get y'all back to your lives. All right, so we have one virtual person. I've already talked to you. Just sit tight. Wait for me to come back to you. Go ahead and grab a pen and a piece of paper. And while you're waiting, go ahead and shut off your camera. All right, cell phones. So I just did this before I came out, so I'm asking y'all to do it too. Please take out your phones from wherever you have stashed them. Push that power button for 2.5 seconds and shut it off. Everybody knows how distractible I am, and if your phones start pinging and dinging, then I've got to deal with it. And I assure you, you don't want me to deal with your phone ringing. So, all right, we're all on the same page on that. I don't want to do it, and y'all don't want to do it either. All right, so this is the correct courtroom for you. If you were arrested on a misdemeanor here in Spalding County, you received a letter in the mail telling you to come to court this afternoon. If what I'm saying does not sound correct, feel free to step out into the hallway, talk to the bailiff, show them your paperwork, and they'll get you moving in the right direction. Today is what's called your arraignment. So what that means is that I'm going to go over your rights with you and tell you what your options are. And then you, or of course your attorneys, are going to tell me what to do with your case. You may have a trial. There are two types of trials. There's a jury trial, and that's where 6 jurors issue a verdict on your case. And then there's a bench trial, and that's where I issue the verdict with no jury present with your permission. You may have a conference with the solicitor's office. So the solicitor's office is this group up here to your left at this table. They represent the state of Georgia. And if you want to ask me about getting an attorney, I will direct you to this group, except not Piper. But everybody else at this table here is with the public defender's office. And you'll be able to have a chance to meet with them today to see if you qualify for a public defender representation. All right. Ms. Karen is over here with our Veterans and Mental Health Court. So if you are a current member of our military or a military veteran, or you have a mental health diagnosis and you would like your case dismissed, then at your first break, if you're representing yourself, step up here and speak with Ms. Karen. She can help you figure out if you are a candidate for our Veterans and Mental Health Court. If you missed the chance to speak with her, you're representing yourself, just have a conference. The solicitor's office can fill in any questions you may have. And then lastly, if you have an attorney, simply speak with your attorney. They can answer any questions you may have about the program. All right, everyone's charges in this courtroom are misdemeanors. The average misdemeanor carries a maximum punishment of 12 months to serve in the Spalding County Jail and or a $1,000 fine. A few minor traffic charges like seatbelt have a lower maximum fine, and a few high and aggravated misdemeanors have up to a $5,000 maximum fine. All right, each of you here have the right to a speedy and public jury trial. This is where 6 citizens of Spalding County decide guilt or innocence on each of your charges. Again, you can also give me permission to have a bench trial with you where I make that decision with no jury present. You may also waive your right to a trial and close your case with a plea. I have no preference. You must knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently choose for yourself. All right, each of you here have the right to be presumed innocent. You have the right to force the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, to cross-examine the state's witnesses, to subpoena your own witnesses and evidence to court. You have the right to testify or not testify. You have the right not to incriminate yourself. And if you choose to remain silent, your silence cannot be held against you. All right, you have the right to have an attorney. You may hire your own if you so choose. However, if you cannot afford an attorney, then you'll be given an opportunity today here in the courtroom before you leave to sit down with the public defender's office and fill out an application. Now, this is your warning because I'm always amazed at how many people test me on this. If you do not take action ASAP to secure the public defender's office, then when you get to your next court date, if you ask me for continuance so that you can do the thing I asked you to do when you were in the courtroom the first time, my answer is going to probably be no, because I'm asking you to do this today. And if you don't do it today, I'm asking you to do it ASAP. All right. An attorney would help you understand our criminal justice system, would explain what your charges are and what the defenses are to those charges, file motions on your behalf, engage in plea negotiations, subpoena witnesses and evidence for your defense, conduct a trial on your behalf, make objections, protect your record, appeal a conviction, and otherwise work to protect you. All right, first offender and conditional discharge. I'm required to explain these to you, and here's how they work. Each of these allow you to enter a plea to your case and close it without being convicted, but you only get one of each for your entire life. Now, first offender is for everything except traffic-related charges, and then conditional discharge is for drug-related charges only. Now, some of you are here for traffic violations such as suspended license, so a NOLO may work for you. A NOLO contendere, or we call it a NOLO plea for short, is where you enter a guilty plea without admitting guilt. Now, you get one NOLO every 5 years, and as I said, this is for traffic charges. The time is measured from the incident date to the incident date, so the ticket date to the ticket date. A NOLO will usually prevent points. It'll usually save your license. It won't help you much if you're under 21. Anybody here under 21? Show hands. Okay, no response. Oh, you're under 21? You'll just need to tell us that when we call your name. We have one. All right, if anybody is not a United States citizen, then you need to know that any conviction will very likely have a negative impact on your immigration status. All right, several of you are charged with family violence. You'll know that because it's in the title of your charge. If that is you and that is the case, and you are convicted of that family violence charge, then you need to know that you will lose any Georgia weapons carry permit you may have, and federal law will step in and say that you may never again possess a firearm or ammunition. All right, habeas corpus, weird old law, and it is my job to explain to you this weird old law. So here goes. If you're convicted of these charges, you may sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge your conviction. All traffic charges have a 6-month window to use those rights before they're gone. Everything else in this courtroom has a 12-month window to use your habeas rights before they expire. All right, you may conference today with the solicitor's office. So if you want to talk to the state to try to resolve it, you'll announce conference when your name is called. If you have an attorney, your attorneys will very likely announce conference on your behalf. I'll remind you again, the solicitor's office represents the state of Georgia. They are not your attorney. If you reach an agreement, you may resolve your case today. If you do not reach an agreement, you have waived none of your rights. You need to just simply tell the bailiffs that you wish to have a trial, and they'll happily have you sign the paperwork and move you in that direction. Okay, so if you receive probation today, let's say you resolve your case with a plea and receive probation, you'll be supervised by the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement Team. 100% of all fines in this court may be worked off with community service work at a rate of $10 per hour. Additionally, there is a one-time $50 intake fee per case. There's a $60 per month supervision fee, and that is each month until you complete your probation. This supervision fee is mandatory, but it can be waived after a separate hearing before me. Now, some of you may choose to move your case to the trial calendar, and you need to plan ahead because this is what's expected of you. If you move your case to the trial calendar, then you'll know that all the trials, jury and bench, go on the same 2-week trial calendar. There will be a calendar call in what we call week 1, and you will come in and make an announcement on your case. Then we'll skip a week in the middle, do some other court, and get ready for trial. And then we will start the jury trials and bench trials at 9 a.m. sharp on the Monday of week 2. You will appear each and every day until your case is resolved. We will use multiple courtrooms in week 2, and we will reach your case for trial. Okay, so we are still a small enough community where everybody knows somebody who knows everybody. So if you know somebody whose name is about to have a warrant issued for them because they are not here, call them, tell them to get down here, and you will definitely save them a great deal of future trouble. All right, calendar call. Somebody call the calendar. When you hear your name called, stand up. I can't see when y'all are talking and you don't stand up, I can't tell who I'm talking to. So stand up for me. If you can't stand up, just wave your hand real high and get my attention. If you have an attorney, perfect. Just hold on until I call your name. If you have an attorney, just remain silent and wait and let them announce for you. That's what you brought them here to do. If you do not have an attorney, then you're going to announce very loudly what you're going to do. So you'll stand up and you'll yell out either conference or attorney or jury trial or bench trial. And then the one person who's under 21 needs to tell us that. Okay, Mr. Shepard, any housekeeping?
No, sir, not from the state.
Anybody in jail?
We seen him this morning at jail Raymond,
Okay.
and that's page 5, Mario Parks.
Okay,
So he's already been taken care of. No, the plate.
got it. Okay. Was he y'all's or did he just?
No.
Okay, that's fine. Just want to mark that. Okay. All right, let's call the calendar. Chelsea Akins. Oh, good morning. Or good afternoon. What would you like to do with your case? Thank you.
Ms. Higgins has a second case also, Judge.
I'm ready.
24 TK 2092. That's an improper lane change violation.
Okay.
I think it's on the November, sorry to interrupt.
No, that's-
November arraignment, I believe.
No, that's about to say, I'm sure it's already scheduled. All right, so what we're gonna do, Ms. Akins, is I'm actually gonna save you a second trip back here on that second case. And I'm gonna add that case to this calendar, and then you'll be excused from the court date on the other one. I'm gonna arraign you on both today. Does that make sense? It's easier for you and for us if we just put everything together. All right, perfect. The conference it is, sit tight, and we'll get you moving. Darren Anders? Anders? No?
That's for a bond forfeiture and event warrant.
Granted. Sean Andrews, looks like 2 cases.
So reset.
Okay, reset. Okay. Benny Atkinson? Atkinson? No?
That's for a bond forfeiture and event warrant.
Granted.
There's a second case for Mr. Atkinson, Judge.
I'm ready.
24 SR 0921. That's an obstruction and a possession of a drug-related object.
Okay, so that's going to become a do not reset. All right, Jeremy Babb? Jeremy Babb? No?
That's for a bond forfeiture and event warrant.
Granted. All right, on to page 2. Timothy Barnes? Barnes? No?
That's for a bond forfeiture and event warrant.
Granted. Melissa Bates, 2 cases? No?
That's for a bond forfeiture and event warrant on both cases.
Granted. All right, Bennett. All right, Mr. Bennett has put in an application with the Public Defender's Office, but they haven't had a chance to process it yet. What did you want me to do? Just arraign him?
Just arraign him and then reset it, yes.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Bennett, I'm gonna have you sign a jury trial reset, and then you'll communicate with Ms. Porter after today. So grab a seat. Yeah, just have a seat. The bailiffs will call you in just a little bit. So he just needs a jury trial reset. Y'all want me to put him out, you want me to have him out in the hallway? No? Okay, all right, then you need, there's benches out there. Go have a seat out in the hallway. Do not leave until the bailiffs come talk to you. Okay, seat in the hallway, wait for the bailiffs. And then go see Ms. Porter after court tomorrow, yes, so later. Not today, because she'll be here. All right, Jordan Caldwell? Caldwell? No? Ugh,
Yeah. We do an FDA. No.
I'm almost willing to try. Yeah, I know it's not your case, but any ideas?
You see what it is?
I don't, it's
I
a,
see, I'm looking at it,
Yeah.
but is it?
can y'all send in,
You can
Carl,
incarcerate it?
let's go off record. Reset, okay.
We didn't.
Use the one reset.
I think that was on the working calendar. It's one of those guys. Yeah. No,
This is the thing we've been bumping into all week where
somebody must have.
they were getting pulled off as they were waving and getting
Yeah, I
reset.
think that's what happened with this. Because he's not on mine either.
Yeah, I think what they're gonna do moving forward is just leave them be, and then we'll just mark them all as we go. Y'all talking about Caldwell? Oh, Cruz, okay.
None of us had.
All right, yeah, it's reset, so it didn't need anything at this moment, and so somebody clicked on the X and pulled it off the calendar, which is technically appropriate, but it just doesn't let us all use the same calendar. So, Cortez Fambro? Fambro,
That's for bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
granted, he'll stay in.
Yeah, I'm not too upset with that.
No. Tony Finazzo,
Judge, we believe Mr. Finazzo is in prison.
okay.
I don't know exactly how we got that information, but that's what my notes say. So we would just ask for a bench warrant with no bond forfeiture.
All right, so the warrant is issued, no bond forfeiture. Anybody here is family for Mr. Finazzo? Okay, sometimes we have family here.
Family has been calling.
Oh, they have,
That's
okay.
Upset about it, 'cause
Oh, okay. Well, no bond forfeiture, so we're not coming after that. All right, Gamage, I assume Brill put in a waiver. Yeah, they're really good about that. Waiver jury trial. All right, Gonzalez is virtual. She already gave me the phone number of 773-954-6064, and it's conference. 773-954-6064. All good? Okay.
Yes.
Michelle Guthrie? Guthrie? No?
That's for bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
Granted.
That's Wednesday afternoon. It's always us.
Yeah. Crystal Ham? There we are. What would you like to do with your case, ma'am? Conference. Thank you. Omar Harris? Hello. Okay, that sounds great. Thank you. Are y'all's cases together? Was it, y'all are sitting together, and or is are your cases connected to each other? Yeah. Okay. All right, co-defendants. Okay. Edward Hood? Hood? No?
That's for bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
Granted. Shermones Johnson? Yes. Conference, thank you. Najila Johnson? Johnson, oh, come on. All right, thank you. And how old are you, ma'am? 23.
I'm guessing she wasn't when this was.
Were you under 21 at the time this event happened? Okay, just making sure I got it. Okay, Justin Jones?
Yes, Brent Hutchinson.
Okay. Waiver, jury trial. All right, Chad Kopp?
Right here, under 21, conference.
All right, thank you. Angela Lanier? Looks like two cases. Okay,
Conference room.
okay, great. All right, I've added y'all as the attorney. Darnavia Lewis? Hello,
conference.
thank you. Joshua Magnus?
Conference, I just told him that.
All right, thank you.
Judge, Mr. Magnus has the second case,
I'm ready.
24 SR 0825. That's a death by shoplift.
All right, Mr. Magnus, I'm going to add that case to this calendar, so both of your cases are going to move forward together from this moment forward. Again, it's easier for you and for me. So, okay. Anton McLaurin?
Conference.
All right, thank you. Thanks for dressing up for court today. I appreciate that. Okay. Parks was our jail case. He pled this morning. 10-2. Paul Ponder, looks like two cases. Okay, that sounds great. And thank you as well for dressing up for court today. Good job. All right, sit tight. What's going to happen is Miss Porter over here is going to call your name in just a little bit, and then she'll meet with you, and then she'll give you your next set of instructions. Kwame Radford.
Conference.
All right, and how do you say your first name? Okay, thank you. I'm the world's worst at messing up names.
Judge, Mr. Radford has the second case,
I'm ready.
24 SR 0789, and that's 3 counts of obstruction.
Okay. Mr. Radford, you have two cases overall. I'm going to put both cases on this calendar, and that way they'll move forward together going forward, and it's easier for you and for us. Okay? And then when you meet with your conference, the solicitor's office will explain what the second case is. I don't know anything about it other than they just told me about it. Okay. Ransdale, I assume, is a waiver in a jury trial? Okay. That's correct. All right, that's page 6. All right, Reyes, is that yours?
Yep, Raimundo Reyes, Judge, I'm just having a pre-trial conference with the state.
Okay, sounds great, thank you. Edward Rogers.
Conference.
Thank you. James Ruffin.
That's Mr. English's case, Heath
Oh.
English's case, Judge, they filed away. Or at least told me they were going to.
Is that all good? She's checking. Yeah, all clear. We're good. All right, David Shivers. Okay, that's appointment is what he said. So that's going to be great. I'm going to have you speak with the Miss Porter. All right, Quentin Smith. Smith.
Conference, Your Honor.
Okay, you're good to go. Thank you, Mr. Smith. And is Mr. Shivers hearing impaired?
He
Does it,
is, he had a stroke, so it's hard for him to comprehend.
okay, is it the kind where if I just get louder, he can hear okay, or does he need American Sign Language?
No, he don't need a sign language. He can hear you if you get loud and speak clearly.
Okay, that's what I just want to make sure. So you're good. All right, Tracy Smith. Tanya Sullivan. Oh, you're here. Perfect, thank you. Sean Walker. Walker? No?
That's for a bond forfeiture and a bench warrant.
Granted.
Gonna take us out.
Christopher Watson. Okay. All right, Aaron Watts. Watts? No?
That's for a bond forfeiture and a bench warrant.
Granted. Daisha Weems, looks like three cases.
Conference.
All right, thank you. All right, that brings us to page 9. Whitner. Derek Whitner. No?
That's for a bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
Granted. Denise Williams, 2 cases. Williams.
It's actually 3 cases. Judge.
Okay. What's the-
24 SR 0751. That's possession of a drug-related object. Well, that's for a bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
All right, so it's granted on 21 it's a 21 TK that hasn't been lifted previously. So it's a warrant on the first 2 cases, and then I'll just let 24 SR 0576 come along for the ride. Okay. Couple of announcements to sweep everybody else up. Is there anyone out here whose name was not called? Stand up for me. There's always 1 or 2, well, except when there isn't. Yes, sir. What's your name?
John Stewart, sir.
Stewart. And what are you here for, Mr. Stewart?
I'm here for like money order that I cashed here in Spalding County, Griffin.
He's on page 11 for Monday, Judge.
Okay.
He's a bench warrant for Monday.
Oh, I see him. 24 SR 0613. Okay. Mr. Stewart, what would you like to do with your case?
I would like to reset it and be able to give me a lawyer,
All right. With the public defender's office or hire your own?
public defender's officer, if you don't mind.
I'm going to let you talk to Ms. Porter. I'm not going to address the warrant at this moment. I'll address it after you've met with her. So you sit tight. So grab,
Yes, sir.
do what?
24 SR 0613.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Page 11 of Monday's calendar.
I may have some notes.
All right. Anyone else whose name was not called? Okay. Then Mr. Shepherd, if you would like to make your announcements, it's all yours.
All right, afternoon, y'all. I'm Patrick Shepard. I'm the solicitor. That means I'm the prosecutor. This is Jackie Tony. She's the other solicitor. We'll be the ones doing the conferences this afternoon. What's going to happen is in a few minutes, either Miss Lanice Fletcher over there in the blue sweater or Sherry Middleton here in the black sweater. We'll call names. We'll do groups of 4 or 5 when your name is called. You're going to go out the double doors to my right, your left. Follow one of those ladies to the little waiting area outside of my office. We'll call you back one at a time for your conference. When you're finished with your conference, you're going to come back down through the same double doors. Quietly have a seat in the courtroom, get your plea, get instructions for your trial. There's obviously a lot of y'all and only 2 of us. We know what we're doing. We move quick, do this just about every day. Have everybody out here a decent time today. All right, thank you.
All right. Mr. Malloy, you wish to make any announcements?
Just to say for Ms. Lanier and Mr. Smith to sit tight, I'll be calling both of you as soon as the judge leaves the bench.
Okay.
And Ms. Sullivan too.
All right, so here's my next, actually, let me talk to Ms. Gonzalez really quick. Ms. Gonzalez, I'm about to send you an unmute request. Are you there? There we go. All right, you there, Ms. Gonzalez?
Hi. Yes.
Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, I have relayed your phone number to the solicitor's office so that they can call and have a conference with you. Is that what you want me to, what you wanted me to do with your case?
Yes, that is.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is let you remove yourself from the virtual system, and then just wait a few minutes for your phone to ring, probably about 30 minutes to an hour, somewhere in there. When the solicitor's office calls, they'll give you your next set of instructions in just a bit, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So you can remove yourself from the system, but you're not free to go about your business.
Okay. And then will I be joining back?
Potentially, you'll talk with them about where you'll go next.
Okay. Thank you.
Just to let you and the judge know, he is, Vanazo, whatever his name is, he is in the Department of Corrections. He's presently got a 4/18/2025 release date. He's at Clayton, TC. And he is a severe serial shoplifter.
Okay.
We'll see him in May of
Yeah,
2025.
sure will.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my announcements to make sure everybody's on the same page. So this next phase goes a lot faster if I'm not sitting here because there's going to be a lot going on. The solicitor's office is going to be calling people out that door, those double doors over there for the conferences. The bailiffs are going to be calling people out these doors for paperwork to sign. The public defender's office is going to move up here to the jury room, and they're going to call folks out that door and in this door. So as you can see, everything is built around you being in your seat. It is a major problem where I step off the bench, and folks just disappear into the wind. Some disappear entirely. What I call that is volunteering to go to jail. So statistically, one of you will disappear and not come back today and volunteer to go to jail. It happens almost every day, and I don't know why. But here's what I do. I don't care if you have a speeding ticket. I'm going to mark your speeding ticket as not payable. I'm going to issue a do not set a bond warrant, and then I'm going to come see you in a couple of weeks out in the jail because that's apparently the only way I can be certain that you will be where you're supposed to be when I need to see you. So don't volunteer for that. But statistically, one of you is going to volunteer for that for reasons that just befuddle me. So I talked to other judges. It's happening everywhere throughout the state of Georgia. We are not alone in this. But again, y'all seem fantastic. I hope one of you is not a volunteer, but I'm sorry, one of you probably is. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is it is 2 o'clock. I'm going to step off the bench until 2:45. You, on the other hand, are going to stay in your seats unless you need to go to the restroom because we're all human. Then you can step to the restroom and get straight back in your seats. Miss Middleton wasted a ton of time Monday trying to find people that had wandered off, and I was about to lose my ever-loving mind over it. So don't make me come find you. It will not go well when I do find you, okay? With that said, Miss Middleton, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. If I
All right, everybody, let's come to order. I'm going to start some pleas. Mr. Malloy, I would love to do your pleas first if you,
I have, Ms. Leangela Lanier and Mr. Quentin Smith.
all right, Lanier. All right. Ms. Lanier, if you please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Leangela Monique Lanier.
And Ms. Lanier, you're here on 24 SR 361 is the case we're about to enter a plea on. I was just presented right before we went on record with a pretrial intervention agreement on 23 SR 196, and I signed it and sent it back out. So when you go out, that paperwork's waiting on you out there, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you were here on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
I'm holding up this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver that Mr. Malloy has passed up to me. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir, I just signed it.
All right, and you recognize it as the rights that are reviewed earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir, it is.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And did you have an opportunity to ask Mr. Malloy any questions that you had?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, sir.
All right. Have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorney about all aspects of your case?
Yes, sir, I have.
Are you satisfied with the job your attorney's done on your behalf?
Yes, sir, I am.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial on your case? On
Yes,
your
sir.
cases, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
And by entering this plea and of course entering the pretrial diversion program, there'll be no trials on either case and both cases will be closed.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, that sounds great. Mr. Malloy, do you stipulate that there is a factual basis to support the criminal trespass charge from July 19th, 2023 here in Spalding County?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Lanier, do you wish to enter a guilty plea to that criminal trespass charge?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. I'm going to find with your request to enter a plea combined with Mr. Malloy's stipulation of the factual basis that there's enough for me to take this plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it exactly the way Mr. Malloy has negotiated it. The floor is yours if you'd like.
Thank you, Your Honor, for we have nothing further.
Okay. Ms. Lanier, any questions about
No, sir.
anything? You ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Is it Leangela?
Yes, sir.
Leangela Lanier, 24 SR 0361, count 1, criminal trespass, guilty, 12 months, 590 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work if you wish. Show your valid license to sentence enforcement. If there's any other charges in this case, they'll be dismissed. No alcohol, illegal drugs, hemp products, Fourth Amendment waiver, $60 per month supervision fee, and a $50 one-time intake fee. This case will run consecutive to 23 SR 0196. I'm going to put that you will need to pay restitution of $100. Was restitution?
It was on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So restitution of $100. So it's $100 per case. So it'll be $100 on that one and $100 on this one. $200 total. And don't go anywhere near Walmart for the entire period of time. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 12 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Can I answer any questions for you about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right. Well, Ms. Lanier, I'm going to pass you off here to Mr. Phillips. He's going to walk you out those double doors back that way. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And remember, your other paperwork's out there waiting on you. Who was your other one?
Quentin Smith.
Okay, I've got that here.
Mr. Smith, come on up, sir.
All right, Mr. Smith, if you will please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Quentin Jamal Smith.
Mr. Smith, you're here on 23 SR 0206. According to my calendar, you are on time for court. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about any of those rights?
No, sir, not at all.
Mr. Smith, your attorney, Mr. Malloy, has passed up to me this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, I did.
And did you have an opportunity to ask your attorney any questions that you have?
Yes. Sir.
And did you understand everything that's on this document?
Yes, sir.
Have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorney about all aspects of your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job your attorney has done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial. This case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, sir, before I pivot to your attorney with my next set of questions?
No.
Okay. Well, if you think of any, promise to ask me, okay? All right. Mr. Malloy, do you stipulate there's a factual basis to support this DUI plea from October 10th, 2021 here in Spalding County?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Smith, do you wish to enter a guilty plea to that DUI charge?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to find with Mr. Malloy's stipulation to the factual basis combined with Mr. Smith's request to enter a guilty plea that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it exactly the way Mr. Malloy's negotiated it. Mr. Malloy, the floor is yours if you wish.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Smith wanted the court to be aware that he lives in LaGrange now. He does no longer live in Spalding County. And I told him the potential of either having e-report or phone reporting because of the distance. And he also informed me that starting in November, he's going to be starting HVAC technical training at Lincoln Tech from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I wanted to ask the court to take that into consideration as far as his reporting requirements here in Spalding County. That was the biggest thing, was that he wanted to try to minimize as much as he could to have to come back here to report with
You bet.
complete his probation.
What were those dates for school again?
He starts November
18th.
Okay. Well, the sentence enforcement team does not want you to lose your employment. That's not part of what they
This
want.
is schooling, Judge.
Or for school. Okay, but school for employment. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so if you will provide, it's HVAC school?
Yeah.
All right, so if you'll provide them with your schedule, I'm very confident they'll work with you. What we've been doing, we've had some issues with the e-report with the more serious cases. So here's what we've been doing, and I've already marked it. So what I just marked on here when Mr. Malloy asked me is I wrote e-report, I circled e-report, but then over here I circled upon completion of terms because I want you highly motivated to get your terms completed. Now, that's two different questions because just because you're reporting here and you're probably not going to get it finished by November 7th, I'm also going to write here at the bottom, in school, will provide schedule. Do you understand that? So that way you've got both your boxes checked so that we don't make you miss any school, okay? So I'm going to write on here, I'm going to put HVAC school because that is legitimate school. In HVAC school, will provide schedule. Is that fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Malloy, do you think that will work for everything he needs?
We will hope it does, Judge.
Okay, so I feel very confident that if you will just communicate well with the sentence enforcement team, you will get what you need because my handwriting on here will make certain that they know that our goal is not to interfere with your school.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right, anything else, Mr.
No,
Miller?
Your Honor, thank you.
All right, Mr. Smith, anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, here we go. Quentin Smith on 23 SR 0206, count 1 DUI, guilty, 12 months, 1683 is your fine. All other charges in this case will be dismissed. 1 day to serve, credit for time served, so there's no additional jail time. You must obtain your driver's license. You can work off your fine with community service work. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and you'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $60 per month supervision fee, $50 intake fee. This is consecutive to any state court sentence. $100 in restitution to Spalding County to offset the cost of your attorney. You may go to e-report upon completion of your terms. 40 hours of community service work. Substance abuse evaluation within 90 days. DUI school within 60 days. And then I put in HVAC school will provide schedule, and that will work. If you have 30 days from today, if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Mr. Smith, can I answer any questions for you?
No, sir, that's it.
Okay, so I'm just going to say the thing I always say at this moment, which is that the secret to your success in this moment is good, clear communication. Good, clear communication. So let them know exactly what you need and exactly when you need it so that they can write it down and work with you.
So I still have to come to Griffin to report. So it's no other office closer to LaGrange that I can switch it to report.
There is not, but I put on there 2 things to help you. One is the moment you've checked off all of your obligations, you'll go to e-report. So I want you highly motivated to put your best efforts into it. The second thing I wrote on there was that you're in HVAC school and that I wanted them to work with you for your reporting so that you don't miss class to have to report. And so they're going to work with you on that. And so I think it's going to be just fine. I think you're going to work it out. And I think it's going to work out in a way that doesn't interfere with your classes. I think you're going to be all right here. Our goal is not to make you lose your employment opportunity or your school opportunity. We're a huge fan of folks keeping their jobs and going to school because HVAC's not going anywhere in Georgia. So we get hot in the summer and cold in the winter. So we need you to go to school and we need good HVAC folks out there. So we don't want to see you lose that. So I think you and I are going to be just fine. So, all right. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
All right.
That's our last case.
Thank you. All right. Next case is Chelsea Akins. If you'll please come up to the podium. Can't see out of my glasses. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
All right, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, take your hand down. State your full name for me.
Chelsea Demetria Akins.
All right, Ms. Akins, you're here on 23 SR 0143, and according to my calendar and my memory, you were on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes.
I forgot, you have a second case. You also have 24 TK 2092. It's not on today's calendar, but we're going to go ahead and address it, and that'll cut you loose from your next court date on that one as well. You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes.
page 2?
Yes.
And is that your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Did you see on here, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Now, you are charged with one count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Perfect, thank you. And in that you did so here in Spalding County back on 9/27/2021. Did you do that?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. What are you on probation for? I'll follow it as negotiated, but I need to understand something a little better. Tell me about Henry County.
It was a no insurance and a speeding ticket.
Okay, and you're on probation with them right now?
Yes.
And how much time do you have left on that case?
I think like 2 months.
2 months. Would you like me to, because the way we word this is I word it as that it's run consecutive to any current state court sentence. And if you're on with the Henry County State Court, then it would run after that. Do you want me to do that or do you want me to run them at the same time? I just don't want to put too much pressure on you.
If I could do like e-reports, could I do it like that?
Well, it's set to terminate upon completion. So the e-report won't really change anything because as soon as you get your boxes checked, you're done. I just want to make certain you understood that the way this is worded would make it consecutive to Henry County, which is not a bad thing. It gives you room to breathe, especially since you could do the obligations now and it could literally terminate the day it starts. Does that make sense?
A little bit.
So this case would get pushed off until your Henry County case ends.
Okay.
And then, but this is a terminate upon completion case in my hand, which means the moment you do what you're supposed to do, your case is closed. And so that's why I'm saying, I just want to make certain you understood that my plan is to run this consecutive to your Henry County case.
Okay, you can do that.
Okay. And again, that lets you, it just gives you more elbow room. That's all. I'm always worried about backing folks into a corner where they can't satisfy multiple probations at the same time. That's always my fear. All right, well, let's do that then. Okay, so, all right, any questions before I sentence?
No.
All right, here we go. Ms. Aikens, on 23 SR 0143, count 1, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, guilty, 12 months, 870 is your fine. You may work your fine off with community service work if you wish. You will be required to show a valid license to sentence enforcement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You'll be tested for those. You will pay $60 per month as a supervision fee and a $50 intake fee. And this will run consecutive to any state court sentence. And you're on probation with the state court of Henry County. This case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations. So if you will go ahead and start working on those obligations, the moment you get them finished, then this case can close literally the day it starts if you do everything you're supposed to do. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today. I'm sorry, you have 12 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Any questions for me before we part ways?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And if you'll step, what I do? Oh, I'm sorry. The second case was dismissed. I signed the dismissal and passed it that way. Thank you, Kathy. All right, Ms. Gonzalez, I'm sending you an unmute request. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, you have requested an attorney. Is that correct?
I'm sorry?
You've requested an attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so Ms. Porter is here from the Public Defender's Office. What I'm going to do is go over this with you, and then I'm going to give her a copy of this, and you're going to follow up with their office, okay?
Okay.
Here we go. Ms. Gonzalez, on 23 SR 0161, I'm pleading you not guilty. I'm placing you down on the October trial calendar. So you will return. Where do you live, Ms. Gonzalez?
I live in Chicago.
All right, you may return virtually for your calendar call, and I'm making a note of that, on October 29th of 2024 at 9 a.m. So you may return virtually on October 29th, 2024 at 9 a.m. for your calendar call. So far, so good?
Yes.
If you are unable to resolve your case on that date, your jury trial will be sometime during the week of November 12th. You will be required to come down. If you need that, I cannot do that virtually. So you will need to plan ahead in case you do need to come down to Georgia. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Um, you said that if we need to reach you, a phone number to reach you is 773-954-6064. Is that correct?
That is correct.
What is your birth year? Not the whole thing, just the year.
2002.
All right. Do you understand that this is the only notice you will receive of these dates?
Yes, I do.
Okay, nothing's coming in the mail. This is what you have. Now, if you want to confirm it, you can go to spaldingcounty.com probably as soon as tomorrow, and you'll see the dates on there. Do you understand that?
Yes, the date I have is October 29th and then somewhere in the beginning of November.
November 12th. It's the
November.
week of November 12th. So you'll report here on November 12th at 9 a.m., but it's for the entire week. It's a jury trial week.
Okay.
Do you understand if you miss any of those, I will issue a warrant for your arrest?
Yes.
And that you are now going to reach out to Miss Porter and that her phone number is 678-688-8296. And again, if you'll go to the Spalding County, spaldingcounty.com and navigate to the state court page, you will find a link to her office and contact information.
Okay.
All right, well then I am going to initial here that we reviewed all this virtually. And do you have any questions before we part ways?
No, I do not.
Okay, I'm going to give Miss Porter a copy of this, but she is not officially your attorney until you follow up and do what you need to do, okay?
Okay.
All right, well, Ms. Gonzalez, good job interacting with the virtual system today. You are free to remove yourself, and we'll see you back here in December. I'm sorry, in October.
Thank you.
Sorry. All right, thank you.
In October. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. All right, Omar Harris. All right, Mr. Harris, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Omar Lamar Harris.
Mr. Harris, you were here on 23 SR 166, and according to my calendar, you were on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Harris, you have passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
All right, and lean into that mic a little bit. It'll get louder when you get closer. Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Now, there's a clerical error on here. It says that you are both a U.S. citizen and not a U.S. citizen. Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm just going to call that a clerical error. I'm going to mark it out. We're going to keep going. All right, so do you understand, Mr. Harris, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial. This case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, you are charged with 1 count of tampering with evidence. I just realized I should have pulled that up already. Give me just a second. This is the best part of my day where y'all all stare at me while I stare at my computer. It's not even remotely awkward at all. Our system, by the way, is called Justice. It's really fun because I get to say things like justice is moving very slow today. And justice crashed. Okay. I found your case. Harris. Okay, it says that you did here in Spalding County back on October 3rd of 2021, did tamper with evidence by concealing or interfering with evidence that was taken in. Looks like it might have been marijuana, and that you did destroy it. Is that correct?
I get.
Okay, well, if you're not sure, you don't have to plead. You can always have a trial.
I just want to get done with it.
Okay, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to convert this into what's called a best interest plea. So I'm going to ask a different question. Do you understand that if you wanted a jury trial, you have every right to have one, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you understand that if you asked me for a trial today, I'd happily move you over to the trial calendar, correct? You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you, but you're asking me to take this plea and let you close this case today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this from a did you do it question, which you did not like that question, and I'm going to move it over to, after considering all of your options, Mr. Harris, a jury trial and a bench trial and entering this plea, do you wish to enter this guilty plea, not because you're admitting to it, but because you think it's in your best interest?
It's my best interest.
You and I are on the same page. All right, I've already marked it. You and I are good to go. I'm going to accept this as a best interest plea, and I'm going to move forward. Is that what you want me to do?
Yes, sir.
We're good to go. All right, so, Mr. Harris, I'm going to find with that, with your request for a best interest plea, there's enough for me to take this plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it. Can I answer any questions for you about anything?
No, sir.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Harris, on 23 SR 0166, count 2, tampering with evidence, best interest plea is granted. It's guilty, 12 months, 735 is your fine. All other charges in this case are dismissed. You may work off your fine with community service work. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $60 per month supervision fee, $50 intake fee. This is consecutive to any state court sentence. And this case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. So you're only on probation until you get done what you need to get done. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 12 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Any questions at all? All right. Thank you very much. If you will step out of double doors. And Ham. Oh, y'all's cases were together. Ham's case was a co-defendant. Okay. Ms. Ham, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. Take your hand down. State your full name for me.
Crystal Tia Ham.
Ms. Ham, you are here today on 23 SR 0165, and I remember y'all saying this during counter call that you are co-defendants with Mr. Harris, who just pled. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom when I first sat down this afternoon?
Yes.
Did you see the PowerPoint up on the wall?
Yes.
And did you understand those rights?
Yes.
I'm holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. I'm trying so hard to ignore the fact that you're chewing gum, but I just can't. I can't.
I'm looking for some tissue.
Yeah, so
I don't need none. It gone.
it's gone. Okay, well, let's take care of it. So, sorry, I was trying very hard to ignore it, but I just can't.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That's all right. So back to the question. I'm holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
You recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier.
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes.
Page 2?
Yes.
Is that your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Okay. You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
No. Say what?
You have the right to have an attorney. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And you're here representing yourself.
Yes.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Okay. And you have the right to a jury trial, and by entering this plea, there's not going to be a trial. This case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Okay. You were present and sitting here when I was going through the best interest option with Mr. Harris. Did you follow along with that moment?
Yes.
Do you want to do a best interest plea as well to keep these the same?
Yes, sir.
All right. So do you wish to enter a guilty plea to this tampering with evidence, which is identical to Mr. Harris's charge having occurred on October 3rd of 2021? Do you wish to enter a guilty plea because you believe it to be in your best interest? In other words, instead of me saying, did you do it? I'm asking you if you want to enter a guilty plea because you want to accept these terms and you think it's in your best interest without admitting that you did the underlying offense.
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to find that with your admission of a best interest plea and with your acknowledgement of Mr. Harris's and I's discussion about it earlier, that there's enough for me to take this plea. I find that Ms. Ham is knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving her rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. Any questions, ma'am, before I sentence?
No, sir.
Okay. Ms. Ham, on 23 SR 0165, your best interest plea is granted. Count 2, tampering with evidence, guilty, 12 months, 735 is your fine. You may work your fine off with community service work. All other charges in this case will be dismissed. Show your valid license to sentence enforcement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. $60 per month supervision fee, $50 intake fee. This is consecutive to any state court sentence. And your case will close, just like Mr. Harris's, the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court.
Yes, sir.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 12 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, any questions for me about anything before we part ways?
No, sir.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Magnus? All right. Mr. Magnus, you can come on up. And are you dad?
Granddad.
Granddad, okay. Well then, I'll just have both of you raise your right hands. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you state your full name first.
Joshua Robert Magnus.
All right, and then if you'll state your name, sir.
Chris Leonard Magnus.
Okay. All right. So Joshua Magnus, when I say Mr. Magnus, unless I say different, I'm referring to Joshua Magnus. All right. So, Mr. Magnus, you are here on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Magnus, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're getting quieter and quieter as we go.
Yes, sir,
I understand why. It's okay. But I really need you to speak into the mic because Miss Kathy is here recording this, and that's here to protect you. So it's to make sure that we can review this later if we need to and figure out who said what. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Great job. Now, Mr. Magnus, back to your rights. Did you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And you are here representing yourself. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial on either of your two cases, and both of your cases will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I am pulling up your facts of your case, starting with your shoplifting charge, which I guess I'm doing them out of order, but we'll get it back in order in a second. So starting with 24 SR 0825, did you here in Spalding County back on December 9th of 2023 take merchandise from Dollar General to your own use without paying for it by concealing it and depriving Dollar General of ownership? Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, big pause there. Do you you understand that you don't have to take this plea right now. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And if you chose to have a trial or want to have more time or anything, if you asked me for it, I would give you that. Do you
Yes,
understand?
sir.
And how old are you again?
20.
Okay. And understanding all that, do you still want to go forward with this plea?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's move on to the second one then. The next one is that you did, so the other case, which is 23 SR 168, is that you did here in Spalding County on October 4th of 2021 endanger Benjamin Moon by consciously disregarding a substantial and unjustifiable risk, and that you discharged a firearm in his presence, which endangered him. This was what's called a gross deviation from the standard of care that a reasonable person would have used in that situation. I know that's a lot of big words, but basically it was that you shot a gun in his presence and you should not have. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find with your admission of guilt on both of your charges that there is enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering these pleas. I've reviewed the recommendations across both cases, and I will follow the recommendation on both cases exactly the way you've negotiated them. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can I answer any questions for you?
No, sir.
All right, Granddad, can I answer any questions for you before I sentence?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, Mr. Magnus, then starting with 23 SR 0168, count one, reckless conduct. I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months of probation. 590 is your fine. You may work off your fines on both of your cases with community service work if you wish. On both cases, you'll need to show your valid license, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $60 per month supervision fee, $50 intake fee. This case will be consecutive to any state court sentence that you're currently serving. 20 hours of community service work, and you are to have no contact whatsoever with Benjamin Moon or any Dollar General. All right, that closes out 23 SR 168. Any questions so far?
That's ran consecutive because I'm on probation in Henry County, so that's ran consecutive with that.
Are you on, is it the state court? With Henry County State Court?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So I'm just going to put here consecutive and Henry County probation. And we have a good relationship with Henry County, so they can find that out. So, okay, I put here, and again, that's a good idea because that will give you more room to manage your stuff in individual bites instead of having to do everything all at the same time.
So I don't have to pay it all at once.
That's exactly right. The goal is not to overwhelm you. The goal is to let you make amends, get things right, and let you do it at a pace that's reasonable. And
Yes,
by
sir.
moving it to consecutive, like you asked me to, it's a good idea. I think it's going to work out a lot better for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move on to your last case then. 24 SR 0825, count one, shoplifting, guilty, 12 months, 590. This case is consecutive to 168. This case will close the moment, wait, what did we do here? Mr. Shepherd, was your intention for this second case to just be able to close?
Let's see, I wrote reckless conduct, the 12 months.
I've got that one.
12 months consecutive. What did I put on?
You put that he can terminate after 12 months.
You can say defeat by
Yeah,
hand
if
consent.
he does what he's supposed to do the first 12 months, then the second case.
Okay, that's what I thought you
Yeah,
meant.
24 months, but he can get off after 12.
Okay, I was gonna make it do that, and so I understood what you were trying to do, so, okay, so
It's
this,
been a long week, sorry.
I know, I'm just here to say thanks. All right, well then, what I've done is mark this so that it can terminate, the second case can terminate if you've done everything you're supposed to do and checked all your boxes,
And
okay?
that's with like the fine and the
You'll have,
community hours and all that.
and so you can do the responsibilities of the second case, and I'm talking first and second for Spalding County. So for Spalding County's second case, you can actually complete those requirements during your first case. You don't have to wait until they start. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yes, sir.
My goal is that you'll take some initiative, go ahead and get everything finished so that when this case starts, it'll officially open and close.
Yes, sir.
All right. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. Those are good questions, by the way. You have no driving. You have 12 months for each of your habeas rights. Any questions I can answer for you before we part ways?
No, sir.
Okay, well, those were good questions. I'm going to have Mr. Taylor walk you out, go meet with sentence enforcement. Good luck to you, sir. All right, next case is Weems. And y'all, that's the last case in my basket. I assume that's what everybody else is thinking as well. I think that gentleman in the back is doing community service work, so.